Rangers lead the way. I've been thinking about that last phrase in the Ranger Creed, the Army Ranger Creed. The more I think about these things, the more they have a great creed in that Army Ranger Creed. You know, some of the phrases are, I will be mentally alert, physically strong, and morally straight. And then the second to the last line is kind of funny, but it's still like, all right, I know what he's saying. It says, I will have the intestinal fortitude to complete the mission. Like, that's really great. Then the last line, though, Rangers lead the way. I've been thinking about this phrase in conjunction with our current situation, where there's lots of divisions in countries, families, locally, and sort of things depreciating in various ways. But we must remain strong in this time. And for my generation of priests, we have the job of rebuilding parishes in this era. And I think that being a pastor on the range, this is what I want. This is what I desire. That Rangers lead the way. That Iron Rangers lead the way. And I know we can. But we'll lead in two ways. One way is being a disciple of Jesus. When somebody meets an Iron Range Catholic, they're going to meet somebody who's going to be strong in the faith. Not weak or indecisive, but strong, because Rangers lead the way. Being a disciple means being a learner of Jesus. I'm more in tune with Jesus than I am with the news. I'm more in tune with Jesus than I am with Netflix, with what else is going on, or with whatever. I'll be more in tune with Jesus than anyone else, because I'll be the first to repent of my sins, accept the mercy of Jesus, and also listen to the scriptures attentively and never abandon the Holy Eucharist. I will also love and revere his blessed Mother Mary, whom he gave to us. I will be a disciple in that way. And Jesus is teaching us constantly. If we think about our last 24 hours, maybe it's been rough. Maybe it's been pretty rough. Maybe it's been okay, but not a lot going on. Listlessness. Jesus is still speaking to us in those experiences. And what is he saying to us? I loved at Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' house. I went home for Thanksgiving, and my parents had the habit of inviting people who maybe had no one to celebrate that with, even when I was growing up. So they did the same thing this Thanksgiving, and they invited a widow from their parish, and from the parish that I grew up in. They invited Beverly over. And Beverly's a widow in her 80s, and Beverly is just a sweet soul. And so we did this round of thanks at Thanksgiving dinner. Everything is prepared, everything's ready. It's the prayer before we eat. And my nephews, of course, at the beginning of the round of thanks are like, I'm thankful for food, the most immediate thing in front of them, and family. And they repeat it, after each other. Then it comes to Beverly. Beverly then pipes up. She says, I'm thankful to God for teaching me lessons in my old age and for the gift of life that I might learn them. And I was like, man, Beverly just drops the mic on all of us. I'm thankful for the lessons that the Lord has taught me in my old age and for the gift of life that I might learn them. What a beautiful disposition of soul. And then she asked for my blessing as she left our house. It was amazing, too. We are disciples of Jesus. He's teaching us. And he's loving us as he's teaching us. This teacher is no mere, here's a lesson for you. No, here's a lesson for you. It's a challenge. It's a blessing. But you can do it. You can do this. You can go forward with hope in me, not in any exterior thing. So, we're disciples. Rangers will lead the way as disciples of Jesus. The second way, I think, is also as evangelists, that we will spread the gospel, not merely be a passive recipient of it, but to be an evangelizer. I will invite someone back to Mass who maybe hasn't been back to Mass in a long time, and who's to say they won't come back if we invite them? Who's to say that? Sometimes, and I've found this, it's like, so what's keeping you from coming to Mass? I asked some fallen away Catholics, and one of them said, I don't know. Well, let's go. Let's go back then. Let's go back to Jesus. If it's just you wandered away and you're not even sure how you wandered away, fine. Let's go forward. Come back. One good confession. You're good to go. Keep going. Become a saint. And Jesus gives us everything we need to become a saint. To become one of those beautiful, solid souls like Beverly, you know, you can just really be that. To be that warmth of character that people also know that they can rely upon to be a Christian in responses to various things. And whatever news comes our way, our peace will not be disturbed because Rangers lead the way. Iron Rangers lead the way. This is the desire of my heart as a pastor, but I think we can do it. And as we rebuild these parishes and welcome souls back, especially young families who are entering a world that is very wild and trying to splinter the family in various ways, trying to splinter their economics. I mean, you just think about all the things trying to automatically withdraw from our accounts. You're like, there's a lot of interesting things going on here. The disciplined pursuit of less will be very important in this era. So Rangers lead the way, both as disciples of Jesus, but also as evangelists. Rangers lead the way.